Behold the birdie of the day. It's the birdie of the day. And here we are for another birdie of the day. See, I'm getting weirder. It's getting weirder every time. It's getting weirder, but the birds are getting cooler because every bird's cool. Or something. I don't know. I probably got to say that. Probably contractually obligated. Today's birdie of the day. I got one. And by today I mean July 18th. Let's jump into this birdie of the day from the 18th, which I did get in one guess. How did I do it? Quickly, what I see here is I see a tail with some really pale fringing, including a dark center. This is probably a longer-tailed bird. It's hard to tell size from this image, but, you know, above average in size. And so at first I was thinking, oh, maybe an owl with that really soft fringing to the feathers and the dark centers. I was thinking an owl, but the sound didn't really match the owl, and I did use the sound to help solidify my answer. And so long-tailed birds, bigger long-tailed birds, might have some pale fringing. So where did I go? Well, first I went to the owls, and I was like, I just can't think of any owl that would quite have something like that, especially, I couldn't quite tell what that was, part of the body maybe, but whatever it was, I just wasn't sold on my answer. What did I go to next? Then I was thinking maybe a Capra-Mulgid, which is one of the goat suckers, so I went there. Nope, still not quite as helpful, not quite what I'm looking for. And then my last group that I went to before I got it right, I was thinking, okay, so it's a longer-tailed bird with a lot of pale fringing, potentially one of the cuckoolids, one of the cuckoos, or one of their allies. So in the cuckoo family, there's things like awnies, which can have long tails, but they're all dark. They're all the cuckoos. They can have long tails with some pale edging or tipping here and there, but not quite right for that style. But there is a cuckoolid in there that does make this particular sound from this birdie of the day on the 18th. Has a long tail with pale fringing and dark centers. And it's the roadrunner. So that big long tail with that pale fringing is how I got it. It was difficult, again, to tell size, but it had to be a pretty decent sized bird because of how big that tail was in relation to how these sticks appear in the image. How else do you identify the greater roadrunner? Well, anywhere it's found, it's a pretty distinct bird. It's going to be a bird on the ground, running mostly, though they can fly. A lot of people don't realize this. They can fly. Those wings are not just ornamental. They can fly, although it's usually in big, short bursts. But they can fly. They can jump. They actually predate on hummingbirds a good amount. So if you have hummingbird feeders up and a roadrunner hangs around, you might need to keep an eye on that. Maybe put the hummingbird feeder in a safer spot where the roadrunner can't access it. Other ways to tell, though, big predatory bill. Roadrunners are major predators. They eat lizards, they eat other small birds, small mammals, snakes, etc. So very prominent bill on them, big long tail, and then, you know, very distinct body shape. I mean, just a very distinct body shape overall. They also have some amazing spotting on the wing. We already talked about that long tail with the pale fringing. And then on some of them, if you can see that facial patch of skin, oh, it can be red and blue leading up to that eye. Almost looks like they've got some really exquisite eye makeup on or something. So a lot of easy tells for the greater roadrunner. Now, if you only see a small image of its tail, that might be more frustrating to identify it. But out in the field, the greater roadrunner, there's not a lot of birds that are going to look similar or act similar to it, at least not in the United States, which is where this birdie of the day came from, because all of these birdies of the day are birds that are likely or can be seen in the U.S. and surrounding areas, and Canada. Don't forget Canada. U.S., Canada, and surrounding areas. Not all of North America, although some birds that are found in Mexico are also in the game. It's mostly birds, U.S., Canada, and surrounding areas. Don't ask a birder to define geography, because it's very weird how birding often defines geography. And on that weird note, make sure to visit birdiegame.net, which is hopefully, it's like floating right here somewhere. I don't, birdiegame.net. Go play, support the creators of the game, and have a good time while doing it, because this is a really fun game to improve and sharpen your bird ID skills. See you soon for another Birdie of the Day! That was fun too. I'm going to keep doing that. I don't care what people say. I'm going to keep doing it because it's fun. I don't care if people don't like it.
That was the birdie of the day, the birdie of the day.